Hi guys. So I realised that lately I've been procrastinating a little bit. I've got quite a few tasks on my kind of long-term to-do list, which I started and then I've put them off because I know they're going to be big jobs. But I think today's the day I'm actually going to have to start tackling one of them. So one of my tasks is to complete my I'm doing a challenge. So in mountaineering terms there is a challenge called the 8,000ers, which is 14 of the Earth's biggest mountains. So instead of doing it as a climbing challenge, I'm going to do it as a painting challenge. So I've got the 6th highest here ready, Choi Oyu, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've done the sky and a few of the shadows. I'm going to try and do a bit more of that today, but I'm going to get on this project because I want it to be finished by the end of the year. I've done 5, nearly 6 of them now. My next task, which I think I might spend a bit more time today doing, is actually storyboarding and planning the pages for one of the children's books that I've got in my mind. The character's already developed, the story is already done, I just need to actually sit down and dedicate some time to developing some pages. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. First though, I'm going to go and check my emails, see if I've had any orders for my shop, and then after that I can just dedicate the day to getting going on some of these big tasks. So come along with me. Okay, so that was one order on my shop. So I've just got to head out to the My printer is a bit of a diva, and if I'm not talking about my printer then it just interrupts all the time. Finished? So yeah, start again. That was one order, so I've just got to head out to the post office. Even though it is sunny now, it is actually raining. So I'm not going to take you with me, but it's literally 100 yards down the road. I'll be back before you know it, and then we can get going on my storyboard. I've got a few reference books out, books that I like the illustrations of. These are not exclusive. These are just the ones that I happen to have picked off my shelf, because I used to be a teaching assistant, so I do have quite a lot of children's books just knocking around. So I've got The Snail and the Whale, which is, even as an adult, I think this is one of my favourite books that I've ever read. It makes me a little bit emotional. So there's that one. The illustrator is Axel Scheffler, and obviously Oliver Jeffers. That's The Way Back Home, but he's done a couple of different ones. Really enjoyed the illustrations of those. So I'm obviously not going to copy them. I am just going to use them for a bit of inspiration, because sometimes when you're working on your own you can get a little bit bogged down in the way that you've always done things. So I'm going to experiment with overlaying different mediums to see what kind of results that I get. Anyway, I'm going to have a little bit of a play. First things first, I've got to go to the post office. Let's go! So I'm back. I told you it didn't take long to go to the post office. I think the first job on my list is to lay down some more colours for this. I'm not going to get to finish it today because it's going to be a matter of putting layers of colours on top of each other. But if you don't start one step you can't move on to the next one. So I'm going to start laying down a few more colours onto this, and then we'll start having a look at that storyboard I was talking about. So I think I'm going to stop this here for today, or at least for this morning. If I carry on any more at the moment, all I'm going to do is end up merging all the colours so they go a little bit sloppy and brown. I'm getting there with the highlights and the lowlights. All I need to do later on is to just build them up a little bit and then add the foreground. Hopefully this should look quite nice. I'm going to try not to fiddle too much with this, because sometimes, I say sometimes, I mean often, almost all the time when I'm doing acrylic or oil paintings, I just mess too much and I get past the point where I think, oh, that's really good, and then I go, oh, just one more bit of detail, one more little shadow, and by the time I'm finished I've just merged it into this one mass of horribleness. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more sparing this time and just trust in my mark making and my brush strokes. I don't mind if it looks a little bit abstract. I'm just not going to be too precious about it, because I think that's what puts me off actually starting a job and finishing a job in the first place. So this is where I'm leaving it for today. I will be adding more to it though, don't worry. Okay, so I'm at my desk and I'm about to start doing my thumbnail plans for the book that I've got planned ahead of me. All I'm going to do is thumbnail sketches, but what's been baking my noodle for a little while has been actually what page is going to be where. I was reluctant to start. Illustrating the book because I couldn't picture in my head where in the book certain pages were going to be. So I took a class on Skillshare. I didn't teach one, I took one. A lady called Claire Lorden, and she was talking through her process of illustrating children's books. So I thought it'd be good just to step back, even if she's telling me things that I already know. I think it would be good, I thought it would be good to just take a step back, gather my thoughts, and actually it was really useful because she had these downloads, and she's got these little thumbnail downloads here with all of the pages of the book. So front cover, end papers, dedication page, title page, and then you've got your pages of your book. So as I've got my story written, I won't show you too much because it's kind of not a finished project. So I've got my story written, I've got some preliminary sketches that I did as we were writing the book. So I've got the words, I've got my character, I know vaguely what I want on each page, but I'll be able to use this little thumbnail planner as a way of just getting my thoughts in order, and that's really what I need, because otherwise I'm never going to start this thing. So I'm going to move you over here and hopefully you'll be able to see a bit close up what I'm doing. If not, I'll have to get my big tripod out, so bear with me. So I finally finished my inner pages from my thumbnail plan for my new book. All I need to do now is work out front cover, back cover, and what my end pages are going to be and my title page is going to be. But you know what? I think having all of those pages planned out and where the text is going to be has really actually helped. So what I think I'm going to do now is order some new inks and new watercolours, because if I'm going to be illustrating a whole book, I'm going to need a lot of colour, and I don't have that much ink left, that much watercolour left in my watercolour pans. So I'm going to have a look on some of the art websites that I normally go to, and I'm going to have a little look. I'm going to treat myself to some new materials, definitely some new brushes, because my brushes are really starting to show their age now. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'm really pleased I've got that plan out of the way. Finally, it's not only been on my to-do list for months. Yeah, so that was that.